here, some more Jaeger infantry being brought in to deal with these guys, but they're definitely very useful. You know, they're spending quite a few resources to take out something that's not really that much of a threat. Elsewhere, I've pulled up back to Papa, and I've got a fair amount of forces, mostly consisting of tanks, T-72s, T-64s, T-62s, T-80s, you know, a wide range of tanks. I've also got a Buck and a Tunguska, slightly vetted, to hold out at Papa. Golf's now been completely destroyed, but the command vehicle has managed to survive. Up here, the Jaegers are moving in. They're also bringing the Legion FAMASs and the Sappers. So let's see how this fight goes. So, a quick kill for the Jaegers. You know, they didn't last long. I was still busy coordinating my forces, so I could have pushed and knocked out the Hemet to get some more, or even I couldn't have captured it. There's too much NATO stuff still in the area. But yeah, so elsewhere, pictured Golf sort of quite the same. At this point, it's quite obvious that NATO have won. We were very unorganised, and most of us were, you know, the rest of the team left quite quickly. Let's get some on to finishing us off here. That come the Legion FAMASs. They're very nearly killed, actually. You know, they're only down to 4 people left. I think that if they didn't have those supply trucks constantly reinforcing them, you know, that would have been another kill for the unpronounceable infantry, but there you go. So at this point, all the hope is of any kind of honourable defeat is left in this. In terms of points, as you can see, NATO spread out fairly evenly. Everyone's on about 1,000. Zinka 9 has done most of the heavy lifting. Let's see where his forces were deployed. Yeah, he's sort of been concentrating on the left side. For us, as you can see, I've been getting the majority of the kills. Corey, who was the first left, never didn't kill anything, and then the other two only got up to 300 points each. So I've been doing most of the heavy lifting with my 1337 kill points. Here, I think that they know that all remaining packed forces are in Papa, so they're sort of coordinating a combined strike to crush us once and for all, or crush me once and for all. Starting off with artillery, I'm not sure what recon units they were using to spot us, but I guess NATO units have got decent recon anyway, so they start shelling, forcing these T-62s back. The shots are landing quite right, I think they're hoping that we're using more command vehicles, and a lucky shot might be able to finish this, because they think that this is the last command vehicle controlling Papa. Of course, we know better. Elsewhere, you see they've got they're sort of massing their forces over here. They're bringing chaparrals and leopards to sort of flank us from Hotel to Papa. As you can see here, they're bringing a ton of Ito keeps to try and flank us, using the road to get around quickly. And then at the front, they've got a sort of Patton's Valerie's tanks. Fortunately, I noticed the Ito sneaking around because I brought in an Mi-9 reconnaissance helicopter. As you can see, they're sort of coordinating their command vehicles, trying to get to the juiciest point zones to be able to buy the most stuff. Obviously, Juliet's not much of a valuable point because they've closer reinforcement points at Kilo, and Mike's the 5-point zone, so you always want to hold that. Also, I see buying more command vehicles. So basically, what they're trying to do now is completely pin me down at Papa to make sure there's no chance of an offensive for me, and then get secure points one by one until they hold every point, so they can just completely overspend me. So let's see. So my defense is sort of organized in that I know their high quality tanks are going to be coming from Hotel, so I put my T-80s here. I'm hoping that these buildings here and the sort of forests around the river will block their view, because this T-80 doesn't have any ATGM to get an advantage over the Leopards, so I'm hoping that these Colo supply T-80s will hold here. Up here, I've noticed the Itos are coming in, so I'm repositioning the T-72s away from the artillery fire D72s are a good tank to fight the toe keeps because, you know, they're relatively cheap at 45 and they've got quite a decent level of armor, so hopefully they can hold off the toe keeps, as well as if I can use this kind of slope terrain to my advantage so the keeps can't pick me off from a distance. Elsewhere, I'm trying to keep these T64 BBs. They're my best tank in at this point because they've got a good gun and a very nice ATKM as well. As you can see, the NATO offensive is now starting with Jaguar 1s, AMX Valeries, and other tanks. They quickly fall because of this nice conquered ATKM from the BMP-1, but fortunately the AA, I can't remember which AA unit it was, but there's definitely enough in there, scares off the Mi-9. D72s are sort of acting as a meat shield to the large amount of fire coming in. I'm trying to protect the BMP, but they quickly prioritize and knock out the BMP. This fight's not going to last much longer. Elsewhere, they've completely moved in and cut my reinforcement zone. Bringing some Gazelle cannons to try and force me off here. As you can see, the T-72s are opening fire on the toe keeps. They've got quite a lot of forces here. T-72s, T-64s, T-62s, some recon. Some Jaguar infantry tried to come in. They were quickly dealt with the T-64Bs. Over here the artillery stuns T-72s. Not that good. VABs are trying to go through the town. I'm not sure what they were planning here. Maybe trying to capture the FOB, I don't really know. But the artillery and general attack forces my stuff back because of the artillery raining down. Unfortunately, that drives it straight into the toe keep, probably a mistake on my part. This part is now a sort of killing field with the toes coming down and artillery raining in, Gazelle cannons raking in. Some ITO keeps come in, but this UAZ that's been hiding in the woods with the gun turned off manages to sneak up on them. They bring in Sheridan's, one of quite highly vetted as well, so these guys have got pretty accurate ATKMs, but you see they're coming into the range of the T-80's cannons. They can't use the ATKMs to their advantage, and their long aiming speed is at their cost. They're quickly dealt with in retreat. Over here the Gazelle cannons sweep in to sort of clean up the rest of the stuff. Quite a good NATO force. The NATO team was definitely very good at quickly and efficiently dealing with us, but I did quite a bit of damage here, considering how much I was outmatched and the amount of units they were bringing in. ITO keeps on coming in. That's the problem. The T-62s are nice routing, so they're not going to do much. They're easy prey. I'm trying to cluster my tanks in now because you see the Leopards are now forcing the bridge. Some flamethrower infantry are coming in. They're quite dangerous because they'll be able to quickly stun the T-80s. So yeah, at this point the battle's definitely over. The Gazelles come in. I thought that was quite a bad idea. The town blocked their views to the T-80s, and the Kolos' machine guns could easily do quite a bit of damage to them. However, the fire coming in from the Leopards, they're crossing the bridge, the stunning fire from the Gazelles, T-80s are quickly killed. D-64 still sort of hiding in the town, but it routes out of it. Quickly dealt with, and the supply trucks are captured. At this point, they're probably quite confused because they think, you know, clearly we've won. Papa's been overwhelmed. Got about 500 points as part of that, but lost the rest of my forces there. Guess because we were completely overwhelmed. At this point, they're probably very confused. They're probably thinking that the command vehicles retreated to these woods here, possibly, as they're bringing in Cobras to try and scout the area, and Gazelle recon helicopters, but I sort of launch my surprise and capture Gulf, my last command unit. And they're bringing the Cobras now. You see, the thing is, at this point, I literally had about 50 points left. So I bought some Iglas to deal with the helicopters and a Conkers for the tanks because I knew they were tanks. Looking back now, probably shouldn't have bothered with the tank, but there you go. So yeah, so NATO's got a huge amount of terrain, but the command vehicle's still here. So they start off by launching the attack from the gazelles. Come here, that were from here. One's fairly damaged from the machine guns. I know the attack's just going to come in and they're going to try and overwhelm us with a huge air force. But the Iglas are here. The Iglas is a very good AA unit. Its range isn't as good as other AA units, but it's just incredibly accurate and incredibly damaging. Usually one hit kills NATO helicopters, and even there, one hit rocket took down 2 helicopters. Quite impressive. Command vehicles retreating, obviously. But the Igla then turns its sights on the Cobra. Kiowa tries to stun stuff. More artillery coming in. Cobra's knocked out quite quickly. These other Cobras are sort of flanking round, but the artillery clips the command vehicle and it's ended. So let's look at the statistics. NATO did very well. Very good kill to casualty ratio there, and it was just it's a pretty one-sided battle, but it was just very interesting at how well they coordinated their attacks, I thought. So pretty much all of them had pretty impressive kill to casualties ratios. All of them worked very well together, particularly Zinka 9, level 63. He definitely performed the best. Also to note that he didn't actually have as many command points to his name as the others, so he was clearly at the forefront of the attacks while they were spending their points on consolidating positions by command vehicles. Elsewhere, as you can see, it's probably quite predictable for stuff that's for a game where people joined out early, where everyone performed quite poorly. So like 300 to 680 kills to casualties, all that kind of stuff. I thought I did quite well considering the degree with which I was outmatched and bought a very bad selection of units at the start. But I thought that was a very interesting match, so well done for Selagorm, Battery Z, Ake, Zach and Zinka 9, all of which I probably pronounced your names incorrectly, but yeah, very well. It was just a masterclass on how you should coordinate attacks as NATO. But well done them. That's all I can say. So I hope you enjoyed this game. It was a bit short, but there you go. I thought it was quite an interesting one. This has been Omagent. Thank you and goodbye.